said Shri Radha Shyam Sundara. Able to see? Maybe not. Let me share that. Radha Shyam Sundara. Yeah, you're able to see that, right? Yes, please, the screen. You're able to, yeah, get it. Yeah. Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Ji Ki Jai. There was a picture taken on Shri Radhashtami. That's lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Only 2 days in a year we'll have darshan of Krupamoyi Srimati Radharani. That's on Radhashtami, and second day, the second one is on Gopashtami. This is in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Yeah. So we'll go into the Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
That's nice. Thank you. Doing the yajna together. By the way, the Mangalacharana also together is wonderful. We are invoking the blessings together. Now Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam. Overview of Srimad Bhagavatam. You can quickly recall what you have heard. In the overview, this is Bhagavata Pravahamu, session 1. We're going to talk about Srimad Bhagavatam introduction, specialty of Srimad Bhagavatam, and overview of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the introduction, we have discussed that in the very beginning, Lord Krishna has enlightened Brahmaji with Kama Gayatri mantra. And with that enlightenment, Brahma, he had both the material knowledge and the spiritual knowledge realized. His spiritual vision that was given as is sung in Brahma Samhita prayers. He saw Goloka. Goloka damni nijadamni tale chatasya. Devi Mahesha Haridama Suteshu Teshu. So he saw Goloka, right? And Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He realized that. He could see how Parama Ishvara is Krishna. So all these truths about the spiritual world were visible to Brahma. He had that vision of Goloka. That's the spiritual enlightenment he received. And the material aspect of it is he has received an understanding of how to do the secondary creation. When the Lord supplies all the ingredients to build the Brahmanda and to give the bodies to all the jivas, he had an understanding of how to give the bodies to the jivas and how to build the Brahmanda with the ingredients supplied by the Lord. So that enlightenment also he had. And then all that came out in the form of Veda from his mouth. Veda means knowledge. So initially it was just the flow of knowledge that was coming out from the mouth of Brahma as he realized both the spiritual and material knowledge within the heart that came through Kama Gayatri mantra. And that particular Veda is later divided into 4 Vedas by Veda Vyasa. Veda Vyasa is a post, and in our Kali Yuga, in our Mahayuga, in our recent Dwapara Yuga, that post was occupied by Krishna Dvaipayana. So he divided the Vedas into 4 Vedas. It happens in every Dwapara Yuga. It happened in our Dwapara Yuga too. So those 4 Vedas have both the material aspect and the spiritual aspect. If these 4 Vedas are like 4 books, each book has 4 chapters. First chapter is Samhitas. Second chapter is Aranyakas. Second chapter is Brahmanakas. Third one is Aranyakas. Fourth one is Upanishads. The first 2 chapters, Samhitas and Brahmanakas, deal with Dharma, Artha, Kama, about material prosperity and enjoyment. You do this kind of yajna, you go to this planet, and you will have this kind of happiness. All that information. That is dealt in the first 2 sections, Samhitas and Brahmanakas. Samhitas, they give different recitations to invoke different Devata Murtis. Brahmanakas, they give information about different yajnas to invoke Devata Murtis. So they can come in and give the material boons for material prosperity and enjoyment. And after that, flickering material happiness is over, then Vedas say, it is time for you to do the transition. Come to the Aranyas, come for the Vanaprastha, and this is how you live in Aranyas. And get prepared to leave this world and realize yourself for self-realization. All that is present in Aranyakas. Aranyakas is the information where a person learns how to dwell in Aranya, in a forest, and prepare himself for self-realization. Detachment from this material world, and basically detachment and self-realization. The actual matter of self-realization is given in Upanishads. So this is the moksha part. Dharma, Artha, Kama is in Samhitas and Brahmanakas. Transition is in Aranyakas, which is preparation to moksha. And actual moksha part is in Upanishads. Okay. So each Veda has this 4 chapters. And whatever is left over and that could not be fit in this category is pushed into 5th Veda. That has Puranas and Itihasas. In other words, whatever theory that was put in the Vedas was lived by great souls that are here mentioned in the Puranas and Itihasas. In that way, there is no difference between the 4 Vedas and 5th Veda, which are Puranas or Itihasas. They are no less than the Vedas. And amongst these Vedas, Puranas, there are 18 Mahapuranas. 6 of them are Sattvic, 6 Tamasic, and 6 are in Rajoguna. So all those who are unable to get to the Sattvic stage, they have more belief in Rajasic Puranas. And all those who could not get into Sattvic but are able to at least do some action and not deeply ignorant, then they will get attracted to Rajasic Puranas. And some who had accumulated a lot of Sukriti and is heading towards goodness, they get attracted to Sattvic Puranas. And the presiding deities of all these Puranas, they take the responsibility to bring their devotees, their seekers, to gradually to the Sattvic Guna and then to the devotional realm. Like Lord Shiva in Tamasic Purana, he does take care of the devotees in the sense he gradually is there with the devotees, even when they are in ignorance. But gradually over many lifetimes, he slowly sees that they come out of that ignorance and then head towards Vasudeva Bhajan. Yeah? And all other demigods also, they do the same thing. Yes, they may give the boons when asked for, but when they think it is right time to guide their devotees to Vishnu, Lord Vishnu or Krishna, they do so. Okay. So in that way, all these Puranas have their own place, but ultimately, when their consciousness blossoms more and more, they get attracted to Sattvic Puranas. And in Sattvic Puranas, Amala Purana is Srimad Bhagavatam. Mahapurana and Upapurana has different, there's different criteria to call it as Mahapurana and Upapurana. If 10 subject matters are discussed in a Purana, that is Mahapurana. We will see how Srimad Bhagavatam has 10 subject matters. If about 5 or 6 or less than 10 subject matters are discussed, then that is an Upapurana. Okay. So in these Mahapuranas, the Amala Purana is Srimad Bhagavatam. And we will see how Srimad Bhagavatam is unique and significantly different from other Puranas. Vishnu Purana is also there. But there are certain things that only Srimad Bhagavatam can give. We will know what those are in the significance of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so we will get to that. So this is about the overview. Oh, by the way, so coming to these Vedas, these 4 Vedas, when they are distilled and concentrated and given as a concentrated drink, that is called Vedanta Sutra. It means different formulas, hidden formulas, giving hidden formulas which needs unpacking to know more about Vedas. So that's why they're called sutras or condensed versions. There are 559 one-liner aphorisms, Vedanta Sutras. And what information do they give? About the Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. These are the 4 subject matters of Vedanta Sutras. 559 aphorisms. And again, there are 4 chapters with 4 sections in each. These 559 are divided into 4 chapters, and each chapter has 4 sections again, very similar to the Vedas. To make it short, what are these Vedanta Sutras talking about? They are talking about God, metaphysics of absolute truth. Who is God? Then, philosophy to understand, practical path to attain bhakti. So 1 and 2 together is Sambandha. Who is God? Who am I? Practical path to attain absolute truth. Bhakti, Abhideya. How do I realize the truth that somebody is God and I'm part and parcel of that loving God? If you do this, then you will realize the doing part, the practical application part, Abhideya, is bhakti. And why do you do bhakti? So we can experience that prema, the divine love. Yayatma suprasidati. That is why we are doing bhakti. So this is the subject matter of the Vedanta Sutras. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. Since these are in sutra forms and not easily understood by Kali Yuga Jivas, who are already short-lived, lazy, misguided, Srimad Bhagavatam is given. So from Vedas, which are 4 Vedas compiled by Vedavyasa, he distilled them into Vedanta Sutras, and he himself commented on the Vedanta Sutra, and that commentary is called Srimad Bhagavatam. There are other commentaries also on Vedanta Sutra, but they are not by Vedavyasa. They are by other personalities. So their view is put in their commentaries. If we want to know what Vedavyasa Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa's understanding is when he's writing Vedanta Sutras, then we read his commentary, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so in this way, Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from 4 Vedas. It is actually more accessible than Vedas and more sweeter than Vedas, more doable than Vedas. Okay, so that's what Srimad Bhagavatam is. That's the introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, these are different commentaries. I'm just going to show you these slides. I don't know if we have discussed this. This would take one more discussion. A life of Brahma. A life of Brahma, if he has 100 years. Now we are in the 51st year of Brahma, first day of Brahma. And in the first day, every day has 14 Manvantaras. So we are in the 7th Manvantara, which is Vaivashvata Manvantara. So Vaivashvata Manvantara. And every Manvantara has 71 Divya Yugas. We are in 28th Divya Yuga. And this Divya Yuga especially is even more special because our Kali Yuga is Dhanya Kali Yuga. In the whole Manvantara and 71 Mahayugas, Lord Krishna comes and goes in Dwapara Yuga. But only in Dhanya Kali Yuga does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come. Lord Krishna himself comes as his devotee in only one Kali Yuga. That this is Kali Yuga. 28th cycle, that's why this is Dhanya Kali Yuga. These are the list of Manvantara. All the 14 Manvantaras, all these Manvantaras passed by, and we are here, Shraddha Deva or Vaivashvata Manvantara. These are different posts of Veda Vyasa. All of them passed by, and we had this personality, Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. The next one would be Ashwatthama. So, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji, sorry to interrupt. Could you please repeat that part one more time? Out of the 100 years of Brahma, we are in the 51st.
Yeah, I call it as where are we in this time cycle? We are in, our Brahma is Chaturmukha Brahma. His 50 years is half of his life, and that is called as Parardha. So he lives for 2 Parardhas. He has lived for 1 Parardha so far. So 50 years are done. Now he has entered the 2nd Parardha. So 51st year starting. So he is in the 51st year, first day, and in each day there are 14 Manvantaras. So in the first day, 6 Manvantaras are over. Now 7th Manvantara is running. Each Manvantara has 71 Divya Yugas. 27 Divya Yugas are over. 28th Divya Yuga is running. In 28th Divya Yuga, Satya Yuga is over. Treta Yuga is over. Dwapara Yuga is over. Now we are in Kali Yuga. This is Divya Kali Yuga because Gauranga was here. Just a while ago, Gauranga was here. And it does not happen, not even in the whole Manvantara, once in a daytime of Brahma. One time in the whole day of Brahma, 14 Manvantaras are there, 14 times 71 Divya Yugas are there, and Gauranga comes one time in one day of Brahma. So, in the first day of the 51st year of Brahma, Gauranga has been here. This is why we are in Dhanya Kali Yuga. Yes? Okay?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari. And we'll move on to the next one. That's Sri Radha Madhava. Sri Radha Madhava ki jaya. How is Srimad Bhagavatam Krishna himself? We are entering into the second subject matter. Speciality of Srimad Bhagavatam. Amala Puranam, yes. We will see how that is Amala Puranam. But there is only one Purana which was told that he is Krishna himself. Some other Purana says there is one Purana and only that Purana is Krishna himself. Who is saying that? Padma Purana is saying. The biggest Purana says. What is Padma Purana saying? Padau yadiyau pradamadvitiyau tritiya turiyau khatitau yaduru nabistadha panchamaeva sashto Ujantaram doryugalam tadhanyam Kantasturajan navamau yadiyam Mukharavindam dasamaprapullam Ekadaso lalatapatham Shiropitu dvadasayeva bhati Svam adidevam karunanidhanam Tamalavarnam suhitavataram Apara samsara samudra setum Bhajami he Bhagavata swarupam Bhajami he Bhagavata swarupam. Don't think Bhagavatam is just a book with something written in there. Has some words in there. No. Bhajami he Bhagavata swarupam. That Bhagavata is a swarupa. It has a personality. I worship you. Padma Purana is saying, Srimad Bhagavatam, I am worshipping you. Why? Because apara samsara samudra setum. Apara samsara, this endless ocean of modes, cycle of birth and death. On this ocean, you are a samudra setum. You are a setu, bridge on this endless ocean. And it is tam adidevam karuna nidhanam. You, Srimad Bhagavatam, who is Lord Krishna, you are Adidevam, you are the source of all the devas. Karuna nidhanam, you are the source of mercy. Tamala varnam, you have that varnam of tamala trees. Suhitavataram, you are so delicately beautiful. And now, Padma Purana is explaining how Srimad Bhagavatam is Lord Krishna himself. Padau yadiyo pradama dvitiyo. Pradama and dvitiya. First and second cantos are pada. Where is it? We have to see the lotus feet. Yes. Padau yadiyo. 1 and 2, lotus feet. Padau yadiyo, pradama dvitiyo. So pradama and dvitiya, first and second cantos are lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Trutiya turiyau khatitau yaduru. Trutiya, third. Turiyau, fourth, are thighs. Transcendental thighs of the Lord. Nabistadha panchama eva sashtam. Nabistadha panchama. Navel, Padmanabha, the lotus navel of the Lord. Yeah, fifth canto is the lotus navel of the Lord. Sashto, Bhujantaram. Sashto. Sixth one is Bhuja Antaram, the one between the shoulders, is the chest. Sixth canto is the chest of the Lord. Bhujantaram, Dor Yugalam Tadanyo. The Anyo, the seventh and eighth are Dor Yugalam, the arms of the Lord. Seventh and eighth are the arms of the Lord. And Kantastu Rajan Navamau Yadiyo. O Rajan, O Parikshit Maharaj. The transcendental kanta, neck of the Lord, is the ninth canto. And Mukharavindam dasamam prapullam. the fully blossomed lotus face, is the 10th canto of Bhagavan. And Ekadaso Lalata Pattam, the 11th canto, is the forehead of the Lord. Shiropitu Dvadasa Eva Bhati, 12th canto, is the crown or the head of the Supreme Lord. So Padma Purana is endorsing that Srimad Bhagavatam is the only Purana which is Lord Krishna himself. So that is the specialty of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's only one specialty. Oh, by the way, since Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna, then how do Bhajami He Bhagavata Swarupa? Let's worship this Bhagavata Swarupa. How do we worship Bhagavata Swarupa? We know how to worship deities. Yeah, the second initiated devotees, Brahmana devotees, they will be taught how to worship the deities. Yeah, there are rules and regulations, cleanliness to be followed before getting onto the altar, and on the altar we recite certain mantras like that, rules and regulations. So the deity worship is done properly. Then how to worship Bhagavatam? That also Srimad Bhagavatam says. Parikshit Maharaj says, when he was asking Sukadeva Goswami in the 2nd canto, 8th chapter, he says, "Oh Sukadeva Goswami, please tell me more and more about this Bhagavatam. Because if I am hearing this Bhagavatam, then I will be out of this birth and life and death cycle. I want to hear Bhagavatam. And I want to hear Bhagavatam in this way." In what way? Sukadeva Goswami says, Shrinvataha Shraddhaya Nityam Granatascha Swacheshtitam Kalena Nati Dhirgena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. Oh Sukadeva Goswami, please tell me about this Bhagavatam. I want to hear Shrinvata. And how do I want to hear? Not just hearing some here, some goes in the air, and at the end I don't recall what I have heard. It's not like that. How should that be? Hearing should be hearing with Shraddhaya, faith. What does that mean? The faith is, when I am hearing about the Srimad Bhagavatam, this is given by Guru Parampara, and this is Krishna himself, and the knowledge of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and this process of bhakti where I know about Bhagavan. If I am hearing this, and if I am applying this, this itself can solve all my material and spiritual problems. And this itself can meet all the material and spiritual needs. That kind of faith. Shraddha is that kind of Shraddha. When we are hearing Bhagavatam, or when we are chanting holy name, when we are doing bhakti, we want to have that kind of firm Shraddha that if I am doing this bhakti, if I am hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, and then I am contemplating and I am applying, and if I am hearing this holy name, this service to holy name, this service to Bhagavan, this bhakti, just doing this bhakti with sincerity itself can solve all my problems in life. And it can give me all that I need materially and spiritually. That's Shraddha. So when it comes to Srimad Bhagavatam, so hearing with that kind of faith that this Bhagavatam is Krishna himself, I want to pay attention to this message. And this message, when I understand and I apply it, all my problems are solved. And I will have spiritual progress. That kind of Shraddha. Nityam. So this hearing is not a little bit here and there, now and then, but Nityam. Nityam is all the time, if not all the time, regularly, every day. So it can stay within our mind and heart. And whatever is heard, if we have heard it properly, Granatascha should happen. Granatascha means we are receiving this subject matter. What is Srimad Bhagavatam saying? What are the sages in Srimad Bhagavatam saying? And what is the Lord saying in Bhagavatam? We think about it, accept the matter, think, introspect. That is Granatascha. And Swacheshtitam, it has to come out in action, in Cheshtita. So when this circle, the cycle is completed, starting from hearing with such kind of faith, and then introspecting, clarifying, and then putting efforts to see that it comes out in action. This is the worship of Bhagavatam. Bhajami he Bhagavata Swarupam. This is how we worship this book Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam. These are the ingredients of worship there. And if that is happening, Kalena na atidirgena, na atidirgena, it doesn't take too long. One will realize the Lord in the heart. Bhagavan vishate hridi. So Lord in the heart is manifested in a short time. Short time may not be seconds, but I mean, you never know. Whoever is a recipient of immense mercy, that can happen too. But the key for that short time, how short it can be, how much are we associating with the sadhus, that will shorten our time. How much are we imbibing their mood? How much are we living their instruction? That can shorten our time in the realization, because they carry Krishna within themselves. So they will tell us the route of how to walk to see Krishna, because they've walked the path. So yeah, this is about Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is how we worship Grandharaja Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so that's one speciality of Srimad Bhagavatam. What are the other specialities? I'll quickly say this. There are no other Puranas which are giving the definition of absolute truth. There are 6 to 7 components here. Janmadyasya yado anvayat itaratas. The whole sloka enumerates the qualification for someone to be called as absolute truth. That's present only in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Dharmartha Kama Moksha. Those are the 4 things that are emphasized even in the other Puranas also. Even in the goodness, scriptures in the mode of goodness, at the most there will be emphasis on the moksha than the others. But Srimad Bhagavatam is Dharma Projita Kaitavo Atra. Not this 4. I will take you to the 5th one. Panchama Purushartha. Krishna Prema. I will show you what it is. I will take you there. That is only Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah? And there is only one Purana that is inviting you. Come, relish this Bhakti Rasa. Muhura Horasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. This Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti is so yummy. Come, relish. This Bhakti Rasa is wonderful. This invitation is only from one Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam. Because other Puranas, they don't have this Shuddha Bhakti Rasa. So they cannot really extend that invitation. Srimad Bhagavatam is extending that invitation. And after Lord Krishna left this planet, he left behind Srimad Bhagavatam as his representative. Puranar ko dinoditaha. So Srimad Bhagavatam has risen as sun. So the Kali Yuga people can carry on their lives in the light of that sun. That is only one Purana, that's Srimad Bhagavatam. So the light for the Kali Yuga people, that is representing Krishna is Srimad Bhagavatam. That's the only Purana. And Srimad Bhagavatam is considered as an incarnation. When an incarnation comes, 2 things will happen. What is that? The demons are annihilated. Before that, Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chadushkritam. That Paritranaya Sadhunam. All the pious souls get our pious souls are revived, protected, and more so, they are attracted to the pastimes. And then miscreants are annihilated. That is the function of an incarnation. And Bhagavatam is also, because this is an incarnation, this is also doing these two things. It is driving away all the miseries from our heart. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu. Driving the miseries away. Killing the miscreants. Driving the miseries away. Yeah? And then establishes the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the heart. Kalena natitirkena Bhagavan vishate hari. So that's how Srimad Bhagavatam is also an incarnation. Yeah. And there is only one Purana which can cause spiritual revolution. Tadvag visargo janathaga viplavo yasmin pratislokam abaddhavati api. Janatagha viplavo. Not only in the people's heart, but sinful people's heart. In their heart also, spiritual revolution is by Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. And this is Sarva Vedanta Saram. It's given in 12th canto, 13th chapter. So it is clear that Srimad Bhagavatam is the Sarva Vedanta Saram. And only Srimad Bhagavatam has these things that were. These are only few things that I mentioned here that Srimad Bhagavatam has and not the other Puranas. Okay, this is the specialty of Srimad Bhagavatam.